Hey, what's up guys, it's Shawzo here, and this is Tenpines Bluff. And I've turned it into a fully functional farm for the couple living there. When I came across this place, all they had was a little shack that they were sleeping in with a broken house, and I've completely transformed it into a sustainable place to live, taking advantage of the landscape and the farm that was already there. I'm going to show you how I built the place with a fully decorated tour by the end. Enjoy. So with a settlement like this, it definitely needs some walls because it's surrounded by trees and it's out in the open. It could be attacked at any time. So I'm going to showcase how I'm going to start off my walls by simply using the pillar glitch. You sink it into the ground and hold down A and it selects it all. I'm going to start off with a warehouse wall and a junk wall, lining that up against the green barrier going around the settlement. And before I go any further, I've noticed there's a massive dip in this corner, and of course I don't want to be building down there because the walls won't be as effective. So I'm going to corner it off with a big bus, and I feel like this is a great addition generally because we could use the inside for a security guard where he sleeps and eats and just looks after the place. So I'm going to sink it into the ground, keeping it very close to the walls, and as you can see it's in a perfect spot. I just need to do some patchwork here and there and fill in some gaps. Using the pillar and the fire pit, this allows me to sink the wire meshes into the bus windows so it's nice and barricaded. And that's our battle bus finished. This looks really good with our defensive walls. So now it's time to carry it on, following that green line going around the settlement. The walls are up now, and as you can see it's a nice mixture of different types. I've even put a bus in this corner to cover this side of the settlement. And now it's time to jump on inside because I want to start doing some creative things within it. And I'm going to be putting some walls on the inside, following that old stone barricade where it once was around the farm. And this will of course create some opportunities to make some dedicated areas within this settlement. And what a difference that makes. I've used the same wall throughout as these are the best kind for interiors. So I've opened up the left side for an entrance, but I want to block up that right side channel because it's all filled with bushes and we don't want that. So the best thing I think to start with is the box cart, and this will be a great storage bin for the farm next door. So I'm going to place it in a good spot and fill in the rest. Now underneath feels like it's going to be wasted space, so I'm going to use this opportunity to put a generator inside, as I feel like that's naturally a good spot anyway. So I'll just quickly connect it to a power pylon, sink it into the ground, and this will be all ready for me later to spread the power. And there we go. I really like how that looks next to the farm. I've also put some barricades where the landscape sticks up over there, just to make it its own area next to the entrance. Now looking at those walls that we placed down earlier, I'm not really liking the look of them on this side. I feel like it blends in too much within the settlement, so this is what I'm going to do. And that's much better. This makes it much more visible. And as you can see, I used the white fences as I thought they would be best because they're nice and bright and they highlight the walls really nicely. I didn't bother doing the back of the walls because I feel like the shadows do a good enough job making it look separated. Now it's time to fix up what's left of this house. I'm going to start off with 3 warehouse walls, and I would actually say the layout of this house is very common. I've seen it before, so it's the exact same blueprint of which I've done in a previous settlement. So I'm going to use a conduit and a pillar. This will help us stick it in there a lot better. And we just got to find that sweet spot. I personally like to have the wood on the outside, gives it a nice repaired look. And once you've got that in the right spot, everything should just come together. I'm going to start putting some floorboards above now, putting this side with some half ones. And the walls should simply just clip on around the house very nicely, flush against it. I would say this is one of these houses that are very easy and simple to fix up. And there we have it. I've fixed up what was left of the house because it still had a solid foundation on the inside. I'm not liking how boxy it's looking, so we're definitely going to expand and build on top of it, and I want to build something quite unique. So I'm going to open up a hole above just for now so we can get up there. And I'm going to start building these metal curved walls going all the way around, changing a few of them here and there so they look nice and bent in some areas, and just overall the scrappy vibe is what I'm going for. And building with no mods, I wish we had more variations of walls like this just to make buildings look a bit more unique. But we're doing the best we can with this no mod series, and I definitely will be doing a modded series in the future. I'm going to be putting these particular floorboards in as they blend in nicely with the curved walls that we've just put down. It's time to seal off the rooftop now, and I'm going to be using these shack upper floors as I'll be doing a bit more on top. I'm going to leave a gap in the middle for now again, just to get up there to do what we want to do. And my plans up here is turning it into a security watchtower to look over the entire settlement, as I don't just want a flat rooftop. So what I'm going to start with is some barriers going all the way around, and this will make my life easier for what I want to show you in a minute. And of course I'm going for the same one throughout. So I'm going to delete this floor and these barriers for now and move this floorboard in this position. I'm going to grab myself a boxcar and place it on the edge of it. Now I'm going to get rid of that floorboard and put another one in there, and this will be central on top of our rooftop. And we'll get rid of the other one and start putting the floorboards back in, and luckily there's no restrictions regarding that. With the other side, I'm just going to get rid of these stairs now and do the exact same process. Move the floorboard, get rid of these barricades, and I'm going to go for a blue one this time, lining it up in the same position. And I just want to mix up the colours because it really does make the settlement pop a lot more. And we'll just fill in these floorboards again, putting these barricades back into place, and I did forget to put them back in the other one as well. And that just leaves us finding a spot for our staircase, and it has to be either side of the boxcars because this will allow us to open up a gap, and I felt like this side was best suited for me. And with the rooftop all finished up, of course we need some supports down below as it's overhanging massively, and I felt like these concrete pillars are best suited for that. And I'm not just going to go for a single one, I'm actually going to do it 4 times around because I want them to look nice and chunky and look like they're realistically supporting the structure. And that's our house fully rebuilt with a unique look, and the pillars definitely do it a favour to make it look stable. And I'm loving how those boxcars are looking on top, as we do need a dedicated shelter for the security because we don't want anyone sitting out in the rain. And that's the build pretty much finished. I can still do a lot more, but I'm actually going to leave that as a surprise for the tour. I've really enjoyed rebuilding this settlement. I would say it's quite similar to County Crossing, but I much prefer this one. Anyways, I'm now going to go off camera and fully decorate the place, and I'll see you guys in the tour. And here's the settlement completely finished. And I would say the decorations took longer than the build itself, so there's plenty of details to show you. So let's jump in and have a little walk around, shall we? Hey, what's up guys, welcome to the tour. And before we get into it, I have a quick announcement to mention. I'm going to make a new series called Top 5 Settlements People Have Made. And this is a way for you guys to get involved into the channel. It's going to be a competition where I judge your guys' settlements and rank them in a top 5 segment. To enter the competition, you just simply submit a video onto my Discord, which will be a link in the description. There will be a channel within the Discord where you can upload or link your video in there. And this idea was massively influenced by a YouTuber named TNG. And back when I started my channel properly doing Fallout 76 builds, he would upload to YouTube these top 5 camp builds in Fallout 76, and I would get involved with it, and it was so much fun. And I just feel like Fallout 4 is lacking that. So I'm going to go ahead and do it and just see how it goes. It'll be a tester for now, and if it flops, it flops. If it does well, it does well. So yeah, go and check out TNG. I'll leave the link in the description. Really top guy, got a great personality, great content. And if you're into Fallout 76, go check him out. So let's get into the tour. And the landscape is quite unique with this place. So I've kind of manipulated it and just made it really cool, you know. So for example, on the left here, there's these really annoying dead bushes that you can't scrap. I always love just to barricade them and add some greenery or some nut fruit as well. We've got buckets, we've got bathtubs, we've got tools and shovels, all ready to go for a bit of gardening. To the right is a nice little pod, so any kind of traveller that comes through who wants to earn some caps, the guys who own this place will give them a job and just, yeah, do some gardening for some money. And it's quite a nice little pod, little table, some bed, little cooking station. It's basically just an all-in-one. You don't really need to leave this little pod really. And moving on to the left, I've added these wooden slopes because it is quite steep and realistically people are going to be slipping down. So yeah, obviously using the pillar, this made this possible, and it goes really well with 3 of them together. To the right is a water purifier with a little shelter because it's machinery, it needs to be undercover. We've got a little capture cage for an animal, some benches. Always love putting a campfire. This time I put a rubber mat underneath it, and I've done it in a way where it looks like the mud's kind of gone over it. And this is what I mean by like taking control of the landscape around the settlement. Just kind of blending what you're building within the environment. The shack, I thought it'd be a really good idea to put a giant windmill on top, and I feel like it's done it justice. I've managed to put some barricades around it with some boxes. I've extended out the rooftops for some more shelter, as we are lacking a lot of shelter in this settlement. Especially when like gardening, if it's like really peeing it down and you need to get under shelter, it's perfect for it. And with this bus, I've turned it into what I said I would, a nice little security spot. And I've managed to put this turret on top of this table using the pillar and the fire pit. And you're probably thinking, how is this useful? But it does actually fire outside the windows. And yeah, it's just added protection. No one's going to destroy this. We got a little sofa, some chems, some weapons and ammo. Just all ready to go, really. I've put loads of bottles around the fire pit. And with the shack, there's actually 2 beds in here that you can't scrap. So I've managed to use the rug glitch and put a brand new flooring on top of it, so it's hidden. Really annoying that you can't scrap them, because I wanted to turn this into a workshop, and you know me, it's not going to stop me, I'm going to make it work, you know. And I've managed to cram in a lot of stuff. I don't know how I've crammed in like a power armor workshop, weapons workshop, armor workshop, and just I've made it work, and it looks good, to be fair. As we go past the chill area, we've got the massive farmland here. I've completely transformed it. I've added so much greenery using the decorational plant pots, and I've added loads of crops. There's loads of potatoes, corn, and there's loads of spotlights as well, and this looks wicked during the night. As usual, there'll be night shots a bit later. Around this little patch is some tables with baskets full of relevant vegetables. They go all the way around as well, including the corners over there. And behind me, next to the shack, is of course the workshop. I've kept the broken toilet because it adds to the junkiness of the place. As usual, just throwing a load of stuff on there. And there was already a fire pit here, but there was no fire, so naturally you would put a working one on there. And I always love putting this meat crafting thing on top. Goes really well with it. I've made a dedicated shelter for the storage for any kind of crops. So this is where we keep all the nut fruit, all the corn, all the potatoes. It's not very well protected, but I feel like security isn't bad in terms of the walls. So it's not a bad spot for all that storage. As we make our way down here, we've got a massive bin, a couple of boxes, mostly where the rubbish goes. A nice little flag. In this corner, I used the raider kind of box. I know this isn't a raider build, but I felt like you can use that in a settlement like this. And as we make our way through this entrance, none of the workers are allowed through here unless you've stayed here for quite a while. You need to build up that trust. And then there's like another room within the house that you can stay. And I've actually placed down this massive prefab. I rarely use prefabs, but I felt like this one was a perfect spot for this gap. Obviously it leaves a gap in between. I just put some cargo stuff, and to the left is a nice little power armor workshop. I love the T51 armor. We've got a couple of boxes next to it, and annoyingly where this mutt fruit is, there was a massive dead bush and it just looked so ugly. So of course I filled it with loads of mutt fruit and just walled it off with barricades, and the transformation is just night and day. It looks so much better. And through here, inside the prefab, I've turned it into a Brahim kind of pin. And this is where they can eat all the razor grain. And I've actually made the effort of filling all these bathtubs with that crop. It takes a while, but it does look pretty cool, to be fair. We haven't got any yet, so only time will tell when they turn up. I've blocked off the back door here because it's such a tight space. It just felt unnecessary to make use of it. And in the middle here there was this massive hole where I think crops once were, so I've just used the shack bridges just to fill it all in. It worked out nicely. You can walk over it pretty easily. I've put another little food crafting spot. In this corner is just some junky items. These red roaches were in the house, so I thought I'd use them for decoration. You might as well. Nice little table to go with the little cooking spot. We've got a dog house for dog meat when he comes by. Another little shelter for some drinks and some milk from the cows. And I've turned this into like a little junkyard. Not over the top, just some little bits here and there that they're collecting from the wasteland. And up here is the little shack next to the farm. And yes, it's for storage, but it's also a lunchtime room. I thought it'd be cool for like a little break time area for, I don't know, if it rains, you need some shelter. And you can open it up and just look at all your hard work whilst having a sandwich, do you know what I mean? So yeah, not a massive amount of storage. There's a box, there's some bits and pieces for the farm. Didn't need to overdo it in here, I'm pretty pleased with it. And yes, as we make our way to the house, I am very happy with it. I've made a couple of changes here and there. I've added a flag with a half wall on top of the curved walls. I've added some metal to the pillars, and yeah, I'm really happy with the outcome. Before we go inside though, we'll check out this last security spot. And this is probably my favourite one because one of the security guards actually sleeps in here. So as we walk in, we've got a nice chest of drawers. To the left is his bed with some ammo, some tables and a cooking station. So the same with the pod, it's like an all-in-one, you don't really need to leave. Behind me is another turret because you might as well. This time I've not used the mesh because I didn't really think it was necessary because we've got the wall coming around for added protection. So yeah, let's make our way to the most important part of the settlement. Out the front, I felt like it needed a bit of something, so I put up some scaffolding, floorboards, and just put like a little seating area. It just felt like a bit of a void, you know, I needed to put something there. Yeah, let's make our way inside the house. And the bottom half is for the person kind of living here as a worker. The upstairs is for like the main couple. So to the right is the bed for that. Nice little cozy area. He's got a picture of a flag, a nice bed, chest of drawers, and there's a locker behind the door as well. And this is the sofa behind under the stairs where he chills. To the left is a toilet. This is the main toilet for the whole house. I couldn't really figure out a door solution for this big gap here, so I've just kind of gone for the curtain look. Probably doesn't give off the best kind of smell for the guy living downstairs, but it is what it is. It's a nice clean toilet, to be fair. We've got some pre-war money to wipe yourselves because for some reason in this game there's no toilet roll. Behind me is a nice little scientific laboratory for everyone to use, I suppose. We've got some weapons ready to go, another nice little ice box. And I've used these mats to cover up the holes in the floor, and I've done the best I can do. So let's make our way upstairs where the original settlers are staying. And we're first met with the kitchen underneath the stairs here. And I love putting stuff underneath stairs because it's just a bit of wasted space that I feel like could be used for like a kitchen, for example. And this is exactly what I've done. I put a crafting table in the corner, nice shelf, some table for chopping some stuff up. To the right, as you can see, I've added some interior walls. I've tried to be creative with it, and yeah, it does give it a different look. I've used a lot of clean items because I want to make it look like they're taking pride in their home, you know. And we've even got a cat. I've never put a cat in my settlement. I don't know why, but here he is. So yeah, we've got a clean TV, we've got a holotape player. I've even put a couple of holotapes on top as well. A few wines, a few whiskies. Just jump over the cat. I've made this really cool double bed. And I've added these chairs as like a little comforter for the back. This was all possible using the pillar. You kind of make it outside and then bring it inside. And yeah, we've got a couple of weapons ready to go, some farm pictures. As we make our way around to this corner, we've got a nice little cleaning section with the sink. I've just thrown in some glasses. There's a bit of soap here and there. And round to the right, I've put a really cool narrative. With these curved walls, think of it as like an extra layer of protection. So I've basically walled in inside the walls, if that makes sense. And reason being is, I didn't think these were good enough because you've got cracks and holes in them. And it's not really good enough protection from the weather or even gunfire. So I've created a narrative where if this settlement gets taken over during the night or during the day and there's like gunfire going on outside and you just don't know what's going on, you just woke up, you can use this as a layer of protection and just look out these little holes to see what's going on because you don't want to have it completely sealed off. As we have a little walk around, I've put items where I can, just a bucket here and there, and yeah, there's nothing much. You can't really put anything big in here like a chair. So I just put a couple of boxes here and there. So let's make our way to the security spot on top. And yeah, I've done what I could up here. Nice chest of drawers for plenty of ammunition. I've cluttered it with loads of ammo, loads of guns, what you would expect. I've even put these funny messages on the barricades, just something immature like that. I think this one is like a little Call of Duty Zombies reference. This one over here is that. And they've all got different kills. So this guy's on top with 23 kills. Makes sense. You've got more of the wasteland on that side. We've got a big gun ready to go. Storage. It's pretty much what you'd expect every time I do a security post. I try and change it up the best I can, especially with like funny notes like that. Managed to fit in some tables in this gap as well. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I've actually put a shelter above where the stairs are because, yeah, you don't want rain coming in down the stairs, do you? But yeah, that is the settlement tour finished. Thank you very much for watching. I'm now going to give you some night shots. I know a lot of you guys appreciate me doing night shots, so here it is. I'm quite pleased with this little settlement. I'm especially pleased with how that little garden plot looks like, all lit up. And I do feel like it makes sense to do that anyway, because you want to see what's going on around your important crops. The battle bus and the pod looks really cozy at night, and moving back inside the house, it's not just a case of throwing up some light bulbs and it's done. You have to do it in a way that makes sense. I've made the effort to keep it nice and bright on the functional areas, but where the bedroom is, it's nice and dark and cozy. And I've also made the surrounding walls really dark as well, because you don't want all these holes glowing up in the night, do you? Moving on to the kitchen, that's a popular light for me as it's got a yellow tinge to it. Anyways, that's the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Cheers.